And hello, this is the recap for Mercury. This is one of our special releases where we are talking about Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky, the movie version of the streaming version of the manga version of a story about two men a man who is a schmuck and a man who is a bastard and how they keep bumping into each other. But before that, I'm Scott. How are you?
Hi. Hi, Scott. I'm Jeff. Jetman. Who am I? Never mind.
Who knows? Who knows for sure? And this episode is brought to you by RightStuff.com, and we are going to feature the product, this movie, on a disc. Why? Because Bandai is not going to learn anything about the modern media environment. It's never going to happen. Okay, maybe they get bought out by Sony or Sega or something, and they learn. But they're barring that, they're not. They're not. And so, if you want to have Gundam media, you either have to just sort of accept that things disappear from streaming all the time, or you can buy discs. Like this disc, the movie we are talking about, on a Blu-ray, released by Right Stuff's house label. It's shockingly affordable. Currently on sale for $20. Sometimes full price for $35. But what it comes with is a case and a slipcover. It's got reversible art. I like that they do the reversible art on these all the time. And there's an English dub track and an English subtitle track with the Japanese language. And there's some trailers. And there's some promos for this show that you just watched. It's pretty bare bones. I'm not going to say it's brilliant. But it is very affordable. And it means you have the thing that you say you want. And that is just how you get Gundam in North America. You just buy discs. You just buy discs.
I'm all for digital media, but at the same time, I own a crap ton of DVDs and Blu-rays of Gundam stuff. Because you know why? Because maybe they pull that stuff off that digital media. And you know what you can do with a disc? You can pop it in the machine and watch it whenever you want, as many times as you want. Speaking of which, I own Thunderbolt, December Sky. It's right over there on the other side of that wall in a fancy collector's box. It came with a bunch of books in Japanese that I can't read.
Oh, you got the import collection. The import collection,
right.
Yes.
It also has English dub and subtitles if you prefer. And I paid a lot more than $20, and I feel mildly ill that you just told me $20.
This is the discount price, but $35 most of the time.
Okay, anyone listening, go buy it for $20. Be smart. Don't be like me and be dumb and pay a lot more than that for the same thing with a bunch of books that you can't read. But they have pretty pictures.
Pretty pictures. So getting into the review, we open in space in December of UC 0079. This is at Side 4. Side 4 being the side that really got hecked up in January of 0079. It is a bunch of debris. And in this debris we have the Moore Brotherhood, the guys from Earth that owned that colony, fighting to reclaim that bit of debris from Zeon, who doesn't actually have anyone there. What they have are war amputees turned experiments for what will become Psychomu Tech soon enough. And so what we have are a bunch of dudes missing arms, missing legs, probably missing other things, parts of their brains. We don't know how gruesome this whole procedure is. And so we have rich dudes fighting the disabled over debris, over nothing. This is the most UC Gundam thing there is.
Oh,
it is, yeah.
I mean, let's get right down to it. The Zeon division is called the Living Dead division. I mean, again with the subtlety. It was just, I wonder, Living Dead Division versus the Brotherhood. I mean, come on now. Living Dead Division for Brotherhood in a horrible hellscape of a battlefield that nobody wants. There is no strategic value to it. Everything is rubble. There are giant electric shocks firing at random times. That's why they call it the Thunderbolt sector. There's nothing of value either. It's just a giant dumpster fire.
Like it is the future. They aren't even upset about the salvage rights to the colony parts. They are the More Brotherhood is fighting for the symbolic value of this Lagrange point.
Right. Now, let's call a spade here. What they're doing is we want to kill the Zeeks.
Yeah. This is not Revanchism, this is revengeism.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's like, you blew up our colony, so we're going to send in a whole bunch of mobile suits and Zap Brannigan style throw wave upon wave of suits to get you. And then when they finally do get you, you're going to die because you blew up our colony, you bastards.
Yeah, and the More Brotherhood has a lot of funding, but they're short on personnel, we find out. Is that, they have a lot of money, they have very good equipment, and they are just chucking people at this problem of a bunch of Xeon dudes with no legs and big honkin' sniper rifles. The two highest ranking personnel are literally it's this weird Klingon promotion by attrition. Like Claudia and EO, the highest ranked More Brotherhood in the sector, are literally just the richest people who aren't dead. And the crew is sitting there like, man, it sucks that they're so young and in charge of us. But also we hate them because they're rich, and we kind of expect them to die soon.
Yeah. Problem is, it's they're gonna die. The captain's gonna overdose, and nobody seems to care. They're all gonna be dead. You're on the ship too, guys.
Yeah, but this is also they've gone through 4 captains already. They're just churning through guys. And they're so mad they're fine with it. But the actual story starts with E.O. Fleming jamming. He's listening he's got his bootleg recording of some jazz. He's in his gym, and he's been sent out to shoot some Zeeks who are camped out in the debris. And the Zeeks are 3 dudes who are working various high-power sniper devices. One of them is just called the Big Gun. Great naming. It's best name in Xeon history, actually.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, what are you going to call it? The Hyper Mega Launcher thing? No, it's a big freaking gun on a platform. Let's call it.
Xeon, just Big Gun. That's what it's called.
Big Gun go boom.
Yeah.
Ready go squat. Anyway.
Yeah. So EO gets tagged by one of the big guns, and because he is a creature of spite, EO jumps out of his core block, hacks a guy's Rick Dom, shoots him in the face, steals it, and shoots everyone else, and then threatens the one guy he couldn't get to with you hear jazz, I'm coming to kill you. Yeah. And then goes back to, More Brotherhood home base. And
I sound terrible for doing this, but I wrote down the line, the guy who got shot, name's Hoover.
Yeah.
He's doing the long sniper shots, and everyone's all impressed by it. Like, wow, that was a crazy shot. Way to go. You might be one of those new types. 3 seconds later, it's like, what? Why is my door opening? Huh? Boom! It's like, well, if he was, he sucked.
Yeah. New type of what now?
Right. He did.
Yeah.
And he just takes his Rick down. Like, I love that he sits. He's so vile. He's like Amuro Ray with a severe ego problem. And gets it. He's like, all right, nice Rick Dom. And he sees the other snipers on the cameras, and he goes, "Hi, I just killed your friend." Now, because of the computers, I see exactly where you are. Just start running because I know how to sneak up on you now. Bye bye. And they do. They all book it out of there, and he blows up the big gun.
Yep. Daryl gets back with Hoover's body, whereupon he is met by Carla and, oh god, Carla's boss, who is just the worst. And it's like, Carla apparently had a thing for Hoover, and Carla's boss is just like, yeah, no, I need that body bag for parts, thank you. You don't have time to be sad for your boyfriend. I need parts. The Living Dead
legs?
division does not
Yes.
uses the whole Living Dead.
Yes, we recycle. He doesn't need those legs anymore. Take them off and strap them to somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. So, on the other side, Claudia, Captain Claudia, tells EO that somehow they have lucked into a Gundam, and that EO, the only guy who's alive, gets to pilot it.
We get to... Before we get there, we get to see differences in the ships. We never really get to see Xeon living spaces.
Not
Xeon quarters.
Not in space, really. Not for like a poor person.
No.
We
Right.
get to see Cassilia's house.
Oh yeah, well, okay. I said Xeon, not royalty. Okay?
Yeah, this
Not
is
the
it.
zombies.
Like we see
your
what like
average
the
Xeon
Rambaral team, like we see like the Rambaral team, how they bunk up, but that's like just tents, right? Like we see Xeon Earth on Earth, and they've got tents, and they seem normal because they're an army in the
Right.
field, and they have
But-
tents, but we
those,
don't necessarily see
they-
what like the bunking situation is. You're right.
But we get to see inside the Murasai, and he basically lives on a hole in the wall with a curtain. I mean, he's sitting there eating his dinner, which doesn't look all that appetizing, I might add, strapped to his hole in the wall, and you see the light on it. And every other light is off. That's the creepy thing. Like, where is everybody? Oh, right, Living Dead. Gotcha. That's creepy. And later we get a flashback, say, oh, he was just a regular grunt. And he got sent to Earth, probably on one of the Jabro invasions. And it didn't go well, at all.
Like poor
He got blown up
poor
real
bloody
good.
infantry. He was at Odessa or maybe the America campaign.
Either way, it didn't work. He didn't get very far, and his legs got blowed up.
Yep.
And they stick some new legs on him and said, guess what? You're getting transferred. Where? Living Dead Division. Joy. I'm so happy. Anyway, full armor Gundam. Insane backpack is insane. I mean,
This is like now Gundam has in the 21st century has given us some backpacks. But this is one of the all-time backpackiest backpacks that has ever backpacked
Right.
in Gundam.
even see Destiny looks at that and goes, damn.
Yeah.
And the best part is we see that thing like, damn. Later the Psycho Zaku shows up and blows it out of the friggin' water.
Yeah. Well, the Psycho Zaku, skipping ahead, is like, what if the camphor, but like more? Double camphor.
We're going to strap everything onto it. What do you mean everything? Everything we have.
Like, what do we got? What do we got? Two of them.
We got
Three of those, actually.
3 or 4 guns, 5 bazookas, a bunch of grenades, extra ammo. Put them on there. Which one?
Gas tanks.
All of it.
Gotta have gas tanks because there's too much ammo on this now.
Right. Let's just make it a bomb. Just a big friggin' bomb.
And
Oh.
yeah, we also find out that part of the contrast between EO and Daryl is that Daryl likes contemporary pop music, and by contemporary we mean weird retro 50s ballads. I
Right.
like it sounds like Peggy Lee, and this is pretty deliberate where it is like, okay, EO listens to late 50s into the 60s jazz, and of course Daryl listens to Peggy Lee sound-alikes, I would have to check, but I am almost certain that this uses like the doo-wop chords that you only use when you're making fun of 50s music.
I kind of like both sides of it actually. The jazz.
No,
except for
they're
that
good
last,
tracks. Like the ballad is really
that last
strong.
track at the end sucks, but yeah, the whole doo-wop is like the whole time is like saying it's like, dude, get a milkshake in an old '50s car. Jeez.
Yeah, no, like this
Pop a collar.
yeah, like yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely greased
and-
lightning, beauty school dropout.
Go Grease Lightning. Okay, I'll stop. We get one of the best POV shots in the history of Gundam. It's short. You get to see why a Gundam is so feared and why it's just terrifying if you're in a Zaku. You see the camera shot of a Zaku. He sees it coming, but by see, he sees a streak going across the battlefield. Pulls out the gun, fires, just randomly trying to hit something. Nothing. See it slight by, takes out the gun, destroys the arm. He's backing up, trying to get away as fast as he can. Another swipe by. You know, oh my God. Zooms up, stabs him right in the gut, blows up, end of screen. Like, okay, that's terrifying.
Yeah, like
Why is a Gundam so feared? It's really friggin' fast.
yeah, this is definitely one of there are. Gundam will periodically do a White Devil shot, right? Like they will put you in a POV of a battleship or a MS pilot and show you the Gundam from their side. And this is
This is one of the best, if not the best.
This show is really well put together. It's not great at making you care about the characters, but it's really good at being animated nicely.
Well, I'm jumping ahead again, and I apologize. You know how we talk when we're talking about Witch of Mercury, and I remember you were saying, you know, these people were gatekeeping and talking to the new fans, saying, "See, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what Gundam is like. You don't know how dark it is." Those people watched this right before they started typing this, because this is the inverse. There's a few nice things in this show. There's a few cute and funny things in this show. Everything else is mean.
Yeah, it's
just mean. Just vile.
Yeah, like everyone's so happy that EO went out and iced 3 Zaku, and they're all getting desperate. So Daryl volunteers to have more bits hacked off him.
I wouldn't go about volunteers. He comes back with another encounter with the Gundam. He loses badly. He's piloting a Zaku 1, by the way.
Yeah, just Zaku 1.
They took away his Rick Thompson. You're piloting an old Zaku 1 that looks like a construction bot. It's painted orange and yellow and has warning tape on it.
It might not even be a Zaku 1. It might be a proto Zaku, the ones from the Origin, right?
Yeah, like that's like somewhere between that one and the actual Zaku 1. That's what that was. And it's like, okay, well, I don't really need it. I just need something to hook up to the gun, which is fair because later you see that same guy who came out to help him in like the space tractor.
Yeah,
and they hook up the space tractor to the gun, and he's able to fire it. He dies very shortly after that, but still.
You don't need a lot of performance to work big gun.
Right. You point, click, and boom. But yeah, this Gundam comes up, thrashes him real good, and he loses an arm. So now he's down an arm and the 2 legs he didn't have in the first place. And he has been training on the Seiku Zaku, which had me doing flashbacks from Eva.
Yeah,
because they have it in a big white room.
Yeah, definitely on purpose there.
Oh, yeah. And he's practicing running and doing all this stuff. And he has flashbacks to a time when he was on the beach and having fun with his family. And it's all cute and cuddly. And
then he flashes over. And then he flashes to like, oh, I'm on the beach with Carla. She's dating me now. Because he's a bit delusional. Daryl is a schmuck.
Just a bit?
Daryl's a schmuck.
Just a bit? Anyway, after that he loses. They say, you know what? You're down to 3, and Captain Hook. I swear to God, that's the guy captaining this ship. I don't think we ever get his name.
No, he has a name.
He looks just like Captain Hook.
His
totally name is
has
Captain
a name.
Hook.
But he just.
And it's Captain Hook.
Yeah.
But they spell it Hoock because they're fancy. But yeah, Captain Hook, he's literally got a hook for a hand, and he literally looks like Captain Hook. It looks like he should be fighting Peter Pan. He doesn't have a sword, and he should. Anyway, he literally orders him. He's like, all right, I order you to submit yourself for surgery. We're going to remove the other arm so you can pilot the Psycho Zaku. Now, he doesn't exactly protest. It's like, even he, the Captain Hook, has to be talked into it by a creepy scientist guy.
Yeah.
Just a jerk. And he's like, you want me to order this man to cut off the other hand? It's like, hey, he's going to pilot the Zaku. You want to survive this? We need the Psycho Zaku. We just lost our last suit. It was a old Zaku 1.
Yeah, like we
wanna live
lost
or you
the
wanna
Rick
die?
Dom and the Zaku 1, and now all we have is
Everything
the
is either
prototype.
everything now is blowed up or they've got it. So guess what? So he literally orders the man. They don't see the order, but he see him come up and about ready to puke his guts out and almost crying, like, I can't believe I'm ordering this man to do this, but I am. I hereby order you to submit yourself for surgery. We'll cut off the other arm, and then you can go pilot the Psycho Zaku. And he doesn't exactly protest it, but he sure didn't volunteer for this.
He's Daryl is also on drugs. Not like the
Very
good
much.
drugs that Claudia is doing, but he's on some space morphine for the phantom pangs.
No. Well, he keeps going. Yeah, one of the very first things he asks for in this movie is he goes to Claudia, can you give me some painkillers? My legs are starting to hurt real bad. I'm like, you don't have legs. Phantom pain? Okay, fine. Still, that's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So Daryl gets amputated, has some more trip out scenes about being on the beach, and we find out that through connections or whatever, the Moore Brotherhood is being kitted out with, I'm going to quick count, 36 Federation weapons. That is 4 gun cannons, 20 jims, and 12 balls. And they're like,
And
no,
some gun cannons.
just big pile of,
And-
just a surprising amount of kit to retake a debris field that no one is in.
Like I said, they're taking a page out of the Zap Brannigan playbook. Throw wave upon wave of your soldiers at them. Just keep going. Or if you prefer the Russian technique, go.
Yeah,
What do? Run at them.
go. So we have a bunch of fresh-faced Federation officers who are so excited to be out here and saving space from the Spacenoid menace. And oh, hey, there's a
They
Gundam.
look-
Let's get a selfie with the Gundam.
They look like they're 11 and 12 years old. They
It's-
make Amuro and Sayla look old. It is
Like-
a little creepy how young they make them look.
like this is a great like parallel mirror to the Giran Youth episode of Gundam Igloo.
Yeah,
If you ever saw that one.
that was creepy too. But I like there's a line in there where they all see the Gundam and they're like, "Oh wow, Gundam, wow!" And they stop and they salute it. Like, oh, we're playing that card, are we?
Yeah.
It's like, no. That's Xeon's thing. What you're saluting a machine, and Fleming says straight up, is like, well, that explains why they're coming out with so many Gundam prototype suits. Like, yeah, propaganda, lots of it.
Look, branding counts. Branding
Yes.
counts.
And yeah, it's just a little creepy how they're like saluting the Gundam, and Ian kind of like looks around and goes, "What's happening right now? Why is this?" Charlie, you gonna drink a whole
Charlie.
bottle of water?
Cool it, man. Cool it.
We'll wait till he's done.
Yeah. Alright, so, things are coming to a head. We have the Psycho Zaku launching against the Full Armor Gundam and everyone else. The kids die immediately. Just immediately. All 32 children just die. And what we get, if you are watching the movie version, is a very long sequence where the Psycho Zaku and the Full Armor Gundam just beat each other to death. It is set to a original jazz number that I think is like there's a TikTok that's like, oh yeah, you should listen to jazz, and it's completely atonal, arrhythmic, discordant, like unpleasantness, and it's like it's great for a fight scene because fight scenes are unpleasant, but it's like, yeah, no, this is why people don't like jazz, guys. Yeah, this is why this is not only discordant, it is also arrhythmic. If you're doing this commercially, you can pick one but not both.
Well,
And
what's the line from Big Bang Theory? Ooh, jazz. I want to hear all the notes at once.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind jazz, but there is a point where it's just kind of like, you're just beating on a keyboard. But anyway.
Yeah. So they fight, and it's messy and hard, and everyone is angry at each other. And eventually, the Moore Brotherhood gets captured by Zeon forces at the same time as, Daryl finally escapes and EO escapes in a different direction. There's some ship-to-ship combat.
Well, the Fetties board and take over the Marasai, and one moment.
Sorry, guys. Dog-related delays.
There's one moment where the Earths and the Fetties try to take over the Marasai, and they do. And they come on board, and everybody's dead, or so they thought. And they finally find most of the crew, and they're in there, and they're singing one of those doo-wop songs. They're holding each other, and they're just sitting around singing the song together.
Expecting to sink or explode.
Yeah, we're going to bust out Kumbaya very shortly. And they just point the guns at them. Where is everyone? And everyone's just quiet. It's like, no. We find out they're getting ready to nuke the ship. They're going to blow the core and just kill everybody. Their crew finds them, and one of the engineers goes on in one of these old school Gundam rants of, I don't want to die. I don't want anyone to die. Please don't do this. Blah, 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 blah. And while they're doing it, someone puts a camera on them and tags them. One of the GMs on the outside gets the signal, puts his beam saber on the spot, turns it on, and vaporizes the three people getting ready to set the bomb. And I do mean vaporizes.
Yeah, like Victory Gundam shit.
Oh, yeah. And the one girl, I forget her name, Claudia, is it?
Yeah.
Claudia's there, and she runs away from it and turns around just in time to see her friends literally turn to ash. And it's like, whoa, okay. And like in the next movie, she's severely mentally damaged. I'm like, okay, yeah, I would be too. And they put her in a pod, and they go off to fight another battle, and the pod and a few suits get out. They're captured by Zeon reinforcements. They later get into a battle, and we see at the very end like a proto-Zeon kind of thing.
Well, like this is it. Like we everyone gets captured. Everyone is transferred to a POW camp on Aboaku, and we jump to like the last week of the war as like Daryl is reintegrated into regular forces, but literally he's got robot hands. He can't fly no more, and things are starting to go bad for him. There's only one thing he
can pilot, and there's only one thing he can pilot, the Psycho Zaku, and it got done blowed up.
Yeah, like he can only really operate with the reuse P system now, and so he's not doing great. We see that while the Battle of Aboaku is going on, EO and the other Moore guys have been busted out of the POW camp. EO is murdering people naked Like there's a scene where he's totally naked and he just finds a gun, and I'm like, no, he murdered everyone in that room and then found the gun. It was he beat them all to death and was like, oh man, this would have been so handy. And then we get the end credits, and then we see after the credits that, oh yeah, no, 3 more Zeongs were made. Might even have legs. We don't know.
Well,
And that's it.
well, during that battle at Al Bawaku, we see some kind of hybrid Zaku Zeong thing we've never seen before.
Oh,
I
that's the
guess that
Psycho
was the
Zaku
prototype.
from the MSVs.
Oh, is
Take
it? I
your
didn't
drink
know that.
for recognizing something for MSV in a Gundam OVA.
Okay. Yeah, but then we see, there's more Zeongs out there that didn't make it to the final. That one, I guess, those I couldn't tell if those are perfect Zeongs. Do they have legs? I don't know. Point is, you see him at the end, like, okay, it's setting up for more things, which we do get a second movie, Bandit Flower, and there apparently is a third movie on the way. God knows when we'll see it.
Yeah, I don't know when a third thing will happen, but like, so I've been following the manga. I've been keeping up with it. The English releases are a bit spotty in terms of how big the print runs are. So like, if you were starting to buy it now, I think Volume 3 and Volume 11 are $300 on the secondary market or something like that. But I've been following it since Jump, and I think reading the manga makes me like this more, because it is just like these two guys just keep bumping into each other, and they're not good people. They're not.
Right. Well,
Neither of them
it's
is good, and they just are. They're just drawn together, and violence erupts around them, and it makes both of them worse people for having survived. So, like in the manga, Io is flying a 2-seater Zeong with a new type girl who is not well, as just a puppet to run all the psycho, the psycho frame weapons, and then there's, we got Daryl, who is just there to fight Io in a Psycho Zaku that has been re-kitted out to look like a Gundam.
because of course you did.
Yeah, like this is it. Like the author of the manga said he's got 9 more years worth of stuff, and I really want to see these two guys just beating each other to death during Char's counterattack. That like the rock is falling and they're the only two guys who are still fighting each other.
Yeah, everyone else is trying to push the rock back, like, screw that, I gotta kill Fleming. Screw that, I gotta kill Daryl. But peace and understanding, screw that.
No. The infinite Mobius loop is also violence, not just understanding.
Yeah, like I said, this is kind of the Char Amuro, except you like Char a little bit. You like Amuro. These two guys, you hate both their guts. Like, they're both monsters.
They are, like, Io is a murderous bastard, and Daryl is a schmuck. He is absolutely on board for anything an authority figure will tell him, even as they abuse him, as they mistreat him. They took his arm for no reason, and he keeps coming back to Zeon and throwing a salute with the stump they left him. These are bad men. These are dumb men. These are violent men. And they will not stop fighting each other for bad reasons. I like it. I like it. This sort of horrible, hateful, angry stuff it's if you know what it is, it's good. It's good. It's like trying to think what it's like. It is like, oh, there are it's like ginger beer or gin. It's You know it's gonna be ornery and upsetting, but you like how upsetting and ornery it is.
It's like I said, when us old school UC fans say you don't know what Gundam is, it's like you don't know what's coming. It's like we've watched this stuff
Yeah,
where everyone's a monster, nobody's redeemable, and everyone dies.
yeah.
Like Tomino didn't write this, but this is an homage to him. Like-
This feels very much in tone to something he would do. Maybe through a bit of a Takahashi land, like Ryosuke Takahashi. This is like the Meloro Link of Gundam in a way.
It's dark, it's depressing, and it's very violent. Welcome to Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah. So I think that's it. I will say once again, I want to say thank you to everyone who, you know, listened all the way through to this. The audio version will go up in a few days if you like a slightly more edited audio remastered version. You know, and I also want to say thanks again to our sponsor, RightStuff.com, and the Blu-ray version of the movie we just talked about. The links are in the description if you want to try them. It is, again, right now it is $20. If you wait, it'll be $35, but right now it's $20. And if you buy it with our link, they'll give me $1. You know, that's what it comes up to. It's available now.
Bucks are good.
Yeah.
But,
Otherwise, again,
I feel bad.
like, share, subscribe, ring bells.
I feel bad for saying it's dark and violent and horrible. No, this was really, really good. If you like mech battles, this is up your alley. And $20 is worth every penny. Go buy it at 20.
No, it
Don't be like me and bought it for I don't want to talk about it.
look, it's really well animated. It's really shiny. It's really pretty, and it's also just nice. It's nice. It's nice to look at. It's mean to think about. That's Gundam. Otherwise, I think we'll be back. So, Witch from Mercury Season 2 starts on the 9th, which means that we should probably get to NT sooner rather than later. We might be back next week to talk about Gundam NT.
I want to be a bird.
We all want to be birds. They can poop on things from the sky.
Bird is in fact the word.
Bird is the word. But until next time, keep your eye on the channel. Have a good one.
Charlie, I put the muzzle on you and you still barked. I know. You still barked. I'll take it off now.
Just pop.